Good morning, everyone. I am here with me, Sir Jensen. Say hi, sir.
Hi.
And today we're going to conduct an interview regarding the education system today's challenges, and he will give us some solution regarding with this problem. And later on, he will give us an inspirational message for us, an aspirant teacher. So. Uh, to begin with, sir, may I know your name, please?
Hi. Good day. My name is Jansen Gutierrez Mendoza.
And about your age, sir?
My age.
If you don't mind.
I am currently 28 years of age and yes. I teach sa Camarines Norte State College. It was in Bicol region in the Philippines located.
And what some subject that you had handled?
I handle two subjects before, which is English. Under English subject, I taught na grammar. Nagturo din ako ng grammar and then oral communication. At the same time, I also teach history, the Philippine history, history 1 and historical methodology sa college.
Sa college. So, do you have experience in teaching?
Yes.
In secondary?
I don't have.
How many years that you teach?
2 years. After
2 years.
graduation, nagturo na kami agad ng college. Kasi at that time, parang na-absorb kami ng school para makapagturo sa kanila. Pero at that time, dumaan pa rin kami sa process ng kung paano mag-apply ng teacher and then dumaan kami sa process ng interview, panel of interview and then yung kailangan namin I forgot the term, pero yung nagtuturo sa harap ng mga interviewer.
Parang demonstration.
Nagde-demonstrate.
Okay. For you, what is an ideal teacher?
Medyo crucial yung tanong pag scenario ng ideal teacher. Pero ideal teacher kasi based on my experience as a teacher before, kailangan natin, as a teacher, kailangan natin maging good communicator, kailangan din natin maging good listener, and at the same time, kailangan natin maging role model sa ating mga estudyante kasi yung mga tinuturuan natin, balang araw magiging professional yan pag nakagraduate na. At pag pinursue na din nila yung education na gusto nila talagang tahakin sa susunod after ng graduation.
Alright. So for the second question, sir, what is your teaching philosophy? Do you have your teaching philosophy?
My teaching philosophy should be encourage curiosity kasi yun yung napaka-importante. Dapat yung student natin is naku-curious ano yung tinuturo natin para din matuto yung mga tinuturoan natin, yung mga kabataan. So yun yung teaching philosophy ko. Kailangan, gusto ko yung mga estudyante ko naku-curious sa tinuturo ko. Lalo na nagtuturo ko ng history. Gusto ko ma-curious sila kung ano yung history, ano yung kasaysayan ng Pilipinas. And then pagdating naman sa English, gusto ko matuto sila kung paano yung paggamit ng languages, proper languages. Lalo na ang focus ng study, like for example, yung first year student, ang focus ng study nila is about oral communication. So paano ba tayo magiging magaling na magsalita? Paano tayo magiging paano tayo papakinggan ng tao nakikinig sa atin pag tayo nagsasalita? So yun yung gusto kong ituro sa mga estudyante na dapat marunong tayo magsalita ng maayos pagdating ng oras kasi at that time, yun talagang kailangan pagdating ng panahon, lalo na pag nakagraduate kayo.
For the third question, what do you feel are the biggest challenges facing today's education system?
Masyadong madami kung sasabihin natin na yung mga kinakaharap ng educational system, like for example, lalo na sa Pilipinas. Unang-una na dun yung lack of classrooms sa Pilipinas. Sunod yung lack of teachers. Madami tayong graduate na teachers, madami tayong graduate na may license na teachers pero hindi nagtuturo, di ba? Hindi sila nagtuturo dahil unang-una mababa yung sahod ng teacher sa Pilipinas. So yung ibang teacher na may license, mas pinipili nila magturo sa ibang bansa. I have a friend ngayon na nagtuturo sa Chicago as a elementary teacher. So, grinab niya yung opportunity niya yon. Even na nandun siya, nagtuturo siya sa DepEd sa Pilipinas. So, grinab niya yung opportunity sa Chicago kasi alam niya na yung salary sa Chicago is napakalaki. Napakalaki ng difference pagdating sa Pilipinas. So, isa yun sa dahilan kung bakit madaming teacher na hindi nagtuturo ngayon. At the same time, mahirap makapasok sa DepEd. Yun yung struggle talaga ng mga bagong teacher. So, bago ka makapasok sa DepEd, kailangan pa magpa-ranking. So, yan yung una na problema ng education system sa atin sa Pilipinas. Pangalawa, sinabi ko yung lack of classroom. So, lack of classroom kasi napakadaming estudyante, napakadaming mag-aaral, pero walang classroom. Katulad sa pinanggalingan kong lugar sa Camarines Norte, napakadaming estudyante. Napakadaming estudyante ng lugar namin, pero yun, some din nagtuturo lang or nagka-classroom lang sa labas, sa may canteen. Kasi kulang talaga yung classroom sa Pilipinas o sa lugar namin. Pangatlo, yung socio-economic inequality. So napakahirap na hindi natin matugunan yung kahirapan sa Pilipinas. So isa yun sa nagiging dahilan kung bakit madaming mga kabataan na tumitigil ng pag-aaral kasi hindi kayang suportahan yung pag-aaral. Hindi kasi natin pwedeng sabihin na libre yung tuition, libre yung pag-aaral, kailangan mo lang mag-aaral. Pero hindi lang kasi tuition yung kailangan natin paglaanan. Kailangan din natin paglaanan yung pambaon, yung mga materials sa schools kasi hindi naman lahat binibigay ng schools. Yung pamasahe, kung malayo yung estudyante, kung malayo yung bahay nila. Yung mga allowance, syempre kailangan din yun kasi hindi naman maiiwasan, may kailangan bilihin, may kailangan paggamitan ng project. So yun yung struggle natin ngayon. Kaya marami din, kung mapapansin mo, last statistics sa Pilipinas is napakadaming yung parang hindi angkop yung kanilang natutunan sa level ng kanilang
It's about the reading comprehension.
Oo, yung comprehension nila dun sa halimbawa halimbawa nasa college na ako pero yung comprehension niya pang elementary pa. So isa yun sa mga problema natin sa Pilipinas na kailangan natin tugunan muna bago tayo maghanap ng iba pang mas ikaka-unlad pa ng iba. Diba?
What are your suggestions in order to solve this problem? I believe you've answered it already.
Sa Pilipinas kasi yung education system sa Pilipinas, napakadami talaga niyang problem. Una natin siguro kailangan na focusan is yung reading and basic comprehension ng bata. Kasi doon talaga tayo natatalo ng ibang Asian country. So, napakababa ng percentage ng pag-unlad ng ating mga kabataan pagdating sa pagbabasa, pagdating sa comprehension. So, yun yung kailangan natin unang-unang fokusan. Pangalawa, yung suportahan natin yung mga teacher na graduate. Hindi kasi nasusuportahan yung mga teacher na bagong graduate. Madaming bagong graduate pero madami ang hindi nakakapasok sa pagtuturo. Diba? Madaming unemployed teacher. Madaming teacher na nangingibang bansa. And pagdating nila sa ibang bansa, iba yung job na nakukuha nila. So yun yung kailangan natin fokusan muna. Yung mga ganong problems. Pangatlo, kailangan natin yung enhance yung curriculum natin kasi in-enhance na ng government yung curriculum natin pero I think mayroon pang kulang, mayroon pang kailangan idagdag and mayroon din kailangan ibawas kasi kung mapapansin natin ang haba ng taon na ginugol natin sa pag-aaral lalo na ngayon na mayroon ng K-12 program na I think hindi naman masyadong nakakatulong sa mga kabataan ngayon sa paghahanap nila ng trabaho. Lalo na kung gusto mo mag-apply sa mga industry na medyo kailangan ng diploma ng college, di ba? Madaming mga nag-K-12 na hindi naman agad nakapasok ng trabaho kasi nga yung kailangan ng company is college degree, may college diploma. Example na natin dito yung mga nagtatrabaho ng SM. Kasi ako before nagtrabaho ng SM. Ang requirement sa SM ngayon is kailangan, kung magkaka-cashier ka, kailangan may degree ka. College degree ka. Kung mag-salesperson ka, kailangan college degree ka. So, yun yung kailangan natin ayusin muna ngayon. So, I think may kailangan pang i-enhance ng government yung K-12 kung paano na magagamit talaga ng mga kabataan yung program na yun.
So what message can you give to those who aspire to be a teacher in the future?
Actually, teaching is more on profession. Hindi lang siya more than a profession. Hindi lang siya profession na panandalian lamang. Hindi siya yung profession, ito ginusto ko to, parang ganyan kasi yung salary. Hindi, kailangan natin maging teacher. Kailangan natin teacher na bukas yung pag-iisip natin. Kailangan na teacher na handa sa mga kailangan gawin. And you have to teach with passion. Kasi kung wala kang passion sa pagtuturo, wala kang may ituro sa estudyante mo. Yun yung pinaka nasa puso dapat ng isang teacher. Dapat may passion ka sa pagtuturo. At the same time, dapat nandyan din yung compassion mo. Nandyan din yung compassion mo kung paano mo mauunawaan yung mga kabataan, kung paano ka makikibagay sa kanila, and kung paano mo din sila matuturuan. So dapat bilang isang teacher, dapat meron kang passion and compassion.
Passion and compassion.
Yes.
So thank you, sir. Thank you for your time. And bye-bye. Good morning, everyone. So as I interviewed Sir Jensen yesterday, so there are some statement, especially the question number 3 and 4, which give an impact to me, especially the challenges in educational system today's, which we are facing as a teacher. So he has mentioned that number 1, they were lacking of classrooms. Number 2, the transportations of the students, and the grading system that school today are doing. So first is the lack of classroom. So he mentioned that due to overpopulations of the school, many students use canteens as their temporary classrooms, and for me it has a big impact to the students' learning because Philippine climate is very hot, and sometimes the focus of the students is not on the teacher because due to many disturbances. So secondly is the transportation of the students, especially if the students is very distant from the school. So I was experiencing too the situation that the students are encountering because when I was in high school, I walked almost 3 hours going to school, and it's very difficult for me because it's very tiring. You don't have the time to study because you are too tired when after school when you got home. So the only thing that you can do is to sleep so that you can build another strength for tomorrow's challenges. Third is the grading system that the school are doing today. So as we have heard in this year that many students was graduated with Latin honors, and according to some reports that most of those students are lacked of reading comprehensions. So he suggested, Jensen suggested that the grading system of the school should be tightened. The grade should be leveled on the knowledge, leveled on the intelligence, and leveled on the scores that they acquired. So let us set aside this project. Let us set aside those plus scores in their score. We must give the grades that they deserve. If they fail, then they failed. If they pass, then they failed. So that we can be able to produce students that can be able to compete not only local but in a global aspect. And of course, I thank Sir Jensen for giving us the encouragement, inspiration. As a teacher, I know it's difficult to handle students, especially if you are put in a classroom with a different attitude of students, with different culture, with different language or different history. So according to him, that we should have patience, passion. We should not regard the salaries, because when we regard the salaries, sometimes it will become the hindrance to give the students the knowledge that they needed in order to success for their career in the future.